Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Classics with Courtney. And today we're ending off Hitchcock month. It has been a fun month. I loved doing the Hitchcock month, and I'm very sorry to see it go. But don't despair. We got plenty of other Hitchcock movies coming on this channel somewhere, I'm sure, throughout the year. But in the meantime, to end out the month, we are officially doing one more video. And we are going to do Rope from 1948, starring Jimmy Stewart, John Dahl, and Farley Granger. We open up to a beautiful day, which is then interrupted by a cold murder.
Open it. There, that's much better. Pity we couldn't have done it with the curtains open in the bright sunlight. Well, the Davids of this world merely occupy space, which is why he was the perfect victim for the perfect murder. Of course, he was a Harvard undergraduate. That might make it justifiable homicide.
He's dead and we've killed him. But he's still here.
In less than 8 hours, he'll be resting gently but firmly at the bottom of a lake.
Meanwhile, he's here.
What are you doing?
It's not locked.
All the better. It's much more dangerous. Anyway, the lock's too old. It won't work.
I wish it would. I wish we had him out of here. I wish it was somebody else.
It's a trifle late for that, don't you think? Whom would you have preferred? Kenneth?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose anyone was as good or as bad as any other. Brandon, how did you feel?
When?
During it?
I don't know, really. I don't remember feeling very much of anything. Until his body went limp. And I knew it was over.
And then?
Then I felt tremendously exhilarated.
After they've done their evil deed, Brandon and Philip continue to put on the party, a kind of a last hurrah after their deed is done.
And I'm sure you wouldn't want the poor old man to have to get down on his knees to see them.
Well, I think it looks downright peculiar.
Peculiar?
Very. Particularly those candlesticks. They don't belong there at all.
Well, on the contrary, I think they suggest a ceremonial altar, which you can heap with the foods for our sacrificial feast.
Heap is right. Certainly isn't enough room for me to set things out properly. Is there, Mr. Phillips?
Oh, you can make it do.
She'll be the death of me. What's to be done with the books?
Oh, we'll lay them out on the dining room table.
A crazy idea, if you ask me. Well, I have too much to do to discuss this thoroughly, dear. However, I still think it's peculiar. Let me finish.
I thought you liked Rupert.
I do.
Well, then.
Brandon, of all the people on this earth, Rupert Goodell is the one man most likely to suspect.
He's the one man who might appreciate this from our angle, the artistic one. That's what's exciting.
I'm glad it excites you. It frightens me. I know,
I
Rupert.
suggest you keep your voice down. It would have been too easy with the others, Philip, and too dull. As for Rupert, I once thought of inviting him to join us.
Why didn't you? The more the merrier.
Because he hasn't the nerve. Oh, intellectually, he could have come along. He's brilliant, but he's a little too fastidious. He could have invented and he could have admired, but he never could have acted.
Our guests slowly start trickling in, starting with David's best friend, Kenneth, and David's girlfriend, Janet.
I never know when I'm being funny. Whenever I try to be, I lay the bomb of all time. Philip, sweet.
Hello.
What's this rumor I hear about you in town hall? I bet you're going to play a foul trick on all of us and become horribly famous.
I believe you've met.
Hello, Ken.
Hello, Jan.
Well, that was fascinating, wasn't it? I could really strangle you, Brandon.
What have I done now?
At times, your sense of humor is a little too malicious, chum.
What are you chattering about?
Why did you invite Kenneth?
Oh, why not?
You know perfectly well why not. We called it quits ages ago, and I'm practically engaged to his best friend.
David?
Yes, David. Which makes everything just ginger peachy.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, but it is a little difficult trying to keep up with your romances. After me came Kenneth, now it's David. Why the switch from Kenneth to David anyway?
Obviously, I think he's nicer.
Well, he's certainly richer.
That's a new low, even for you, John.
Give me a D in conduct.
David's parents show up, and Philip is really starting to get jittery.
David!
Oh, no, this is, you've made a mistake. This is Kenneth Lawrence.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's all right, Anita. Kenneth is often mistaken for David, even by people who aren't nearsighted. We haven't had much opportunity to observe the resemblance lately, my boy. You haven't been studying, have you?
I've been trying to, sir.
Oh, dear, the resemblance is only physical.
How's Mrs. Kentley?
As usual, it's a cold this time. I hope David arrives soon. She wants him to call her.
David's her only child, Mr. Kentley.
Well, he's my only child, too, but I'm willing to let him grow up.
Why don't I call and tell her he's been detained?
No, you mustn't pamper her, Gary.
David might even have stopped off to see her.
Mr. Kentley?
May I use the phone?
Of course, it's in the bedroom.
How cozy.
Aren't you, ready for another?
I will be. I am, thank you.
Oh, mine's fine, thanks.
Would you mind taking this in to Janet?
Sure. Why?
No particular reason. It's hers. I thought you'd like to take it into her. She's in the bedroom telephoning.
Then you'd like David to walk in.
Oh, no, that'd be too much of a shock.
When were you born?
So a couple of things. One, David's father is played by Cedric Hardwicke, who worked with Hitchcock in Suspicion in 1941, which I already covered on this channel, and would go on to do an episode of his TV show. Although I'm not sure if he actually directed the show, but still, that's pretty neat. And two, I made the comment that Philip is starting to get jittery. He's basically jittery the second he's done the murder. And I think Farley Granger does a really good job with the role, but as good as he is in the role, I don't find him sympathetic. Only to the fact that he and Brandon go and take a man's life just for the sake of taking a man's life. So, you know what? You do that, you gotta pay for it. Rupert, played by Jimmy Stewart, arrives at the party and everyone becomes acquainted while waiting for David.
Mrs. Atwater, may I present Mr. Rupert Cadell?
Delighted.
Thank you. Mr. Kentley. How do you do, Mr. Kentley?
Rupert Cadell, the housemaster at Somerville.
I used to be.
Then you must have taught my son, David.
Well, you flatter me. How do you do?
Hello, John.
Oh, Miss Walker.
How'd you know?
Brandon's spoken of you.
Did he do me justice?
Do you deserve justice? Well, little Kenneth Lawrence, how you've grown.
Hello.
Oh, now come, Kenneth. School's out. You can say it.
Rupert, you're the same as ever. It's awfully good to see you again.
Why?
Well,
Don't mind me. Very pleased to see you again.
Didn't like the new girl much. Definitely Scorpio.
No, I didn't like her either, but her clothes were fabulous.
Simply divine.
Absolute heaven.
I must see it.
Of course, the man I have a passion for is James Mason.
Is he good?
Absolutely terrific.
So attractively sinister. Tall as the bull, you know. Very obstinate.
Really?
But I have a confession to make. Do you know, I think I like Mason as much as Harold Flynn.
I'll take Cary Grant myself.
Oh, so will I. Capricorn, the goatee lips. Divine. So much.
Yes.
Personally, I'm a Paul Newman and Jimmy Stewart type of girl. Rupert, Brandon, and the guests begin chatting about the subject of murder, and the subject becomes rather heated.
Landlords, of course, are another matter. You're seeking an apartment? Call on our Miss Sashwaite of the Blunt Instrument Department.
What a divine idea. If it suits your purpose, merely. But then we'd all be murdering each other.
Oh, no. Oh, no. After all, murder is, or should be, an art. Not one of the seven lively, perhaps, but an art, nevertheless. And as such, the privilege of committing it should be reserved for those few who are really superior individuals.
And the victims, inferior beings whose lives are unimportant anyway.
Obviously. Now, mind you, I don't hold with the extremists who feel that there should be open season for murder all year round. No. Personally, I would prefer to have Cut a Throat Week or Strangulation day?
Probably a symptom of approaching senility, but I must confess I really don't appreciate this morbid humor.
Well, the humor was unintentional.
But you're not serious about these theories.
Of course he is.
Oh, you're both pulling my leg.
No, why do you think that?
Well, Brandon, the notion that murder is an art which a few superior beings should be allowed to practice.
In season.
Now I know you're not serious.
But I am. I'm a very serious fellow.
Then may I ask, who is to decide that a human being is inferior and is therefore a suitable victim for murder?
The few who are privileged to commit murder.
And just who might they be?
Oh, myself. Philip. Possibly Rupert.
I'm sorry, Kenneth. You're out.
Gentlemen, I'm serious.
So are we, Mr. Kentley. The few are those men of such intellectual and cultural superiority that they're above the traditional moral concepts. Good and evil, right and wrong were invented for the ordinary average man, the inferior man, because he needs them.
Then obviously you agree with Nietzsche and his theory of the Superman.
Yes, I do.
So did Hitler.
Hitler was a paranoid savage. His supermen, all fascist supermen, were brainless murderers. I'd hang any who were left. But then you see, I'd hang them first for being stupid. I'd hang all incompetents and fools anyway. There are far too many in the world.
Then perhaps you should hang me, Brandon, for I confess I'm so stupid I don't know whether you're all serious or not. But in any case, I'd rather not hear any more of your, forgive me, contempt for humanity and for the standards of a world that I believe is civilized.
Civilized?
Yes.
Perhaps what is called civilization is hypocrisy.
Perhaps.
Well, I'm sure Rupert, fortunately,
Oh, now, gentlemen,
has
really,
the intelligence and imagination
Please,
to...
Brandon, I think we've had just about enough.
I said in my short reaction video a couple weeks ago that Brandon's thinking was a lot like Hitler's. And I'm so glad that the film actually brought this out, because that means I wasn't really reaching. That's what the movie was basically trying to say. And in my opinion, this is one of the best scenes in the movie. Cedric Hardwicke does an amazing job as David's father, who's worried about his son, but then is caught up in a conversation about murder, and he's defending the right mind of, murder is not, something to be taken lightly. While Brandon is going off and getting all angry and trying to force his perspective, his father stands strong. And I love him for this. I love his character, and I agree with him, because I'd be the same way. I would be angry and even terrified if someone came up to me and was basically talking about how great murder would be, and intellectual minds are better than the unintellectual. So I really love the way the scene is played out, and again, Cedric Hardwicke knocks it out of the park. Janet and Kenneth have a lovely conversation and eventually find out what Brandon could have been up to. Meanwhile, Rupert does his own investigation.
What was so different today?
What wasn't? Mr. Brandon was in the maddest rush for me to clean up and get the table set. And, it looked so lovely. But then when I was whisking out to do the shopping, he suddenly told me to take the whole afternoon for it. The whole afternoon. After that mad rush in the morning.
Did he say why?
No, just a whim, I suppose. But when I came back, he and Mr. Philip were going at it hammer and tongs.
Oh. What about?
Well, now, Mr. Goodell, even if I did know, do you think I'd tell?
Well, I hope so.
Not me.
Really?
I'm like the grave. Look.
You know, Philip, I get quite intrigued when people don't answer questions, and quite curious.
Did you ask me a question?
Yes, Philip, I asked you a question. I asked you what is going on here.
A party?
Yes, but a rather peculiar party. What's it all about, Philip?
What's what all about? Now stop playing crime and punishment, Rupert. You want to know something? Come out with it, otherwise...
Oh, no, temper. Where's David, Philip?
I don't know. Why?
Brandon knows.
Does he?
Doesn't he?
Not that I know.
Oh, come now.
I don't. Why don't you ask Brandon?
I have. But he's too busy maneuvering the other 2 points of the triangle. What for, Philip? Just what is Brandon trying to do with Janet and Kenneth? What's the matter? What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
What am I so far off the track?
There's nothing going on at all, Rupert.
Everyone becomes very worried about David and all leave the party. Brandon is satisfied with his handiwork while Philip is losing his mind.
Brandon, who's
I'm
there?
in the garage, man, with my car keys. Answer it.
There hasn't been time for him to get here.
And maybe Mrs. Wilson forgot something. Answer it.
Brandon, couldn't we pretend we're not home?
With all these lights on, answer it, Philip.
Brandon and Philip receive a phone call, and it is Rupert calling to request that he come up, saying he forgot his cigarette case, and Brandon tries to talk Philip down as Rupert comes up.
Philip, listen to me. Rupert's on his way up now, and you've got to pull yourself together. Philip, did you hear me? Come on, have another drink if you must, but get hold of yourself and keep your mouth shut. It'll be over in 5 minutes. I don't know how much, if anything, Rupert knows, but I promise you, he'll be out of here in 5 minutes, one way or the other. Philip, for those 5 minutes, you've got to pull yourself together. Do you?
Brandon,
No,
Brandon.
look. I'm not going to get caught because of you or anyone else. No one is going to get in my way now.
I thought perhaps...
Any idea where you left the case?
No, not at all. Completely unlike me to forget it, isn't it? I suppose a psychoanalyst would say that I didn't really forget it at all. I unconsciously left it because I wanted to come back. But, why should I want to come back?
Yes. Why?
For the pleasure of our company, or another drink.
Well, that's a very good idea. May I have one for the road?
Of course.
After chatting for a bit, Rupert finally puts the pieces together.
Driving at night always is. But driving with you and Philip now might have an additional element of suspense. You were right, Philip. Those books were tied clumsily.
He's got it. He's got it. He knows. He knows.
All right.
He knows.
Easy. I'll take care
No,
of it.
you won't. I'd just as soon kill you as kill him. Sooner. This is what you wanted, isn't it? Somebody else to know. Somebody else to see how brilliant you are, just like at school. I told you he'd find out. But oh, no, you had to have him here. And now we're done for. Now I don't know. You made me do it, and I hate you. I hate both of us.
Will you step over there, please?
Philip's drunk, Rupert. Surely you don't take those nightmare ideas of his seriously.
Brandon. But I'm going to look inside that chest.
Are you crazy?
I hope so. With all my heart, I hope I'm crazy.
Rupert, this has nothing to do with you.
I've got to.
Don't.
I've
Rupert.
got to look inside that chest.
All right. Go ahead and look. I hope you like what you see. Listen to me. Just listen. Let me explain.
Explain? Do you think you can explain that?
Yes, to you I can, because you'll understand.
Understand?
Rupert, remember the discussion we had before with Mr. Kentley? Yes. Remember we said the lives of inferior beings are unimportant? Remember we said, we've always said, you and I, that moral concepts of good and evil and right and wrong don't hold for the intellectually superior. Remember, Rupert?
Yes, I remember.
Well, that's all we've done. That's all Philip and I have done. He and I have lived what you and I have talked. I knew you'd understand because you have to, don't you see? You have to.
Till this very moment, this world and the people in it have always been dark and incomprehensible to me. And I've tried to clear my way with logic and superior intellect. And you've thrown my own words right back in my face, Brandon. You were right, too. If nothing else, a man should stand by his words. But you've given my words a meaning that I never dreamed of. And you've tried to twist them into a cold, logical excuse for your ugly murder. Oh, they never were that, Brandon. And you can't make them that. I mean that tonight you've made me ashamed of every concept I ever had of superior or inferior beings. And I thank you for that shame. Because now I know that we are each of us a separate human being, Brandon, with the right to live and work and think as individuals, but with an obligation to the society we live in. By what right do you dare say that there's a superior few to which you belong? By what right did you dare decide that that boy in there was inferior and therefore could be killed? Did you think you were God, Brandon? Is that what you thought when you choked the life out of him? Is that what you thought when you served food from his grave? Well, I don't know what you thought or what you are, but I know what you've done. You've murdered. You've strangled the life out of a fellow human being who could live and love as you never could. And never will again.
What are you doing?
It's not what I'm going to do, Brandon. It's what society's going to do. I don't know what that'll be, but I can guess, and I can help. You're going to die, Brandon, both of you. You're going to die.
And that concludes the film Rope. What did I think of it? Well, I saw this movie several years ago, and it didn't do anything for me, except for that ending, that powerful ending that still resonates to me today. However, after second viewing, I actually rather enjoyed the movie as a whole. I really got to experience it a little differently, and I really enjoyed the film. Jimmy Stewart thought he was miscast when he did the film. However, I don't think he was, but I can understand his perspective. Jimmy Stewart played a lot of characters that were really down to earth, really sweet, and this character is, well, not exactly that. He's charming, but his mind is a little nuts. The fact that he agrees in the whole murder thing until the very end, and, you know, he's making jokes like cut a throat day kind of thing, which, okay, that was very odd. But I think he plays the character really well. And although his mind is a little nuts, he's not far off to where he would concede to these two characters of Brandon and Philip. At the end of the day, he realizes murder is wrong, and it brings a whole different mindset. So it's kind of like a character arc. He goes in the film thinking one way, and at the end of the film, he comes out a different way. So I think he did an incredible job. Not only would Jimmy Stewart go on to work with Hitchcock 10 years after Rope, which would be Vertigo, but Farley Granger also played in a Hitchcock movie only a couple years later in Strangers on a Train, released in 1951. Before I end this video, I want to give a shout out to Middle Aged Movie Reviews, MAM Reviews for short. I was just on their podcast talking about Hitchcock's Vertigo. It should be up really soon, and once it's up, I will give it a share, so be on the lookout for that as well. I also want to give a shout out to one of the best Hitchcock podcasts. It's called Presenting Hitchcock, or Hitchcock Pod. It's two guys, Corey and Aaron, and they both talk about Hitchcock movies, which is awesome. Unfortunately, they went through all of his movies, so now they are doing Hitchcock-themed movies. So I love their podcast. It's one I listen to quite a lot, so it is one I highly recommend. You can find them on Spotify, Amazon, I think Apple iTunes, and they also have a Facebook group called Presenting Hitchcock, so I highly recommend you check these two out. And that concludes Hitchcock Month. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it as I had making it and reviewing it. And leave your comments down below of what you would like me to cover next. We have one more month of a theme before I completely go random for a while. And that will be Biblical Month to celebrate Easter. So, of course, it's going to be Biblical Month. So stay tuned for some biblical films coming your way. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Have a great and wonderful day.